Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It looks like it timed out. What timed out? That would be Phobies, because we had the countdown. We had the countdown. You know what we also have got? We got Vendy back. And I actually had to make a conscious effort to not log into Phobies. Russell! Yeah, we may have some things to say about Russell. We'll see. I gotta get my wife's hair on me. As one does. So, we got Vendy back, which is pretty sweet. If you've been playing in Monster of the Week, which is our weekly tournament series that we're going to be talking about, you may have seen Vendy. You may have seen Vendy show up to give you your coffee prizes. That's right, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can win coffee just by participating in these events. Why? Well, I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team gives me coffee for producing Phobies content. You're going to see that momentarily. They also provide prizes for Monster of the Week, which is our weekly tournament series. As I said, you get coffee just for signing up. You get more if you win. So let's take a peek at some of the highlights from the games today. First, we're going to get our coffee. Ooh, we got 9K coffee. It may have been a typo. I think we're only supposed to get 8, but I mean, I'll take it. We also got the Sizzling Summer Sale. Whatevs. That's a lot of coffee. How do you think I did those, like, 80,000 coffee pack opening videos? Open a fresh pack? We might do that later. We also got Destroy All Dimensionals as our event. Congratulations. I gotta turn the sound out. As I've said on many occasions, I wish the sale prices were the regular prices, and then they went on even deeper discount for the sales, but we can only do what we can do. All right, chat. So we got our map rotation. Some of these are playing in, specifically Transaction Decline and Castaway. We'll see if anybody played on those maps, but let's pull up ye old brackets. So I'm going to do like I did last time, where I'm going to switch scenes, or try to remember to switch scenes when I am pulling things up, so that people aren't spoiled and I have to do less editing later. So we need to pull up the highlights channel. Let's see. There's actually several highlights from one particular event, so we may focus on that. All right, we're zoning in here. We got Dama, we got Sisku, we've got Monster of the Week. Let's see what we've got here. We also don't have sound because I was tabbed out. My bad. So we're here on the Big House. One of the few small maps that the community doesn't or isn't up in arms about. We'll put it that way. The community is generally not pleased with the status of small maps. We'll see how this one plays in. We're getting a little unicorn action, and I'll be honest, I feel like that's what most people are complaining about. But what do I know? I just watch literally thousands of games. I wish I was exaggerating. I'm pretty sure we've got to be in the thousands of games. We're definitely in the thousands of games. How many are recorded? I wonder. Ooh, we get a little trapper action going with the Poison Ivy out of our orange player. Kind of cute. I do like Poison Ivy, but we'll see how it plays in here. Stabby inching its way up. Probably going to be on the retreat, I imagine. Maybe, maybe not. Since we're watching this from our blue player's perspective, obviously we can't see where our orange player's traps are. As always, I don't like the trap mechanic, and I wish that it were changed on multiple fronts. A, you should be able to see the cooldowns on the trapper phobies. B, you should be able to see them in replays. I understand the decision for both and why they are the way they are. I just don't agree with it. There it is. I said it. How about them apples? All right, we're dropping in now. 4 Phobies to 3. We're looking like a key trading war. Now, our orange player may be suspecting a trap on the northeast panic point. However, it is exceptionally unlikely. A, and B, they probably should have tracked that. Now, we're getting Oopsie Baby out of our blue player. A 3-ranger. What a shock. Now, most people don't complain about Oopsie Baby, and to be honest, I feel like I'm okay. I don't know that Oopsie Baby needed the buff that it got. however many patches ago it was. Was it last patch? Might have been the last patch. Whatever. Point is, I don't think Oopsie Baby really needed it, but I can understand. Oopsie Baby's also 7 keys, so like it's got to be worth the 7 keys. The 3 rangers, such as Repeller, one of the Sentinels here, not a huge fan of those coming down, but it is what it is. 37 turn game, folks. Yikes. That's a yikes from me, dog. Down goes the cat. Panic points remain orange. All right, we're trading out traps. Interestingly enough, no boop out of our orange player to try and push the Oopsie Baby back. You could body block with the help of the Stabby, but this is actually a cool addition from our blue player in the form of Honey Bear. Right now, it's a 54 to 3,800 hard health advantage, so I'm pretty sure you can... I'm not 100% confident, but I feel like you could close this game out. Somebody else will have to pause and do the math. Whether you could close the game out with this lead by just vomiting on 2 panic points with the Honey Bear, like so. Notably, this will also, of course, turn off Poison Ivy traps. This gives the first hit on the Stabby Mirror to our blue player. Some additional damage going down from Oopsie Baby. 9 keys available for our orange player, though, so I'm curious how they're going to respond. There's a lot of options available, quite obviously. Believe it or not, we're only... we still have a lot of game left. We still have a lot of game left. We're getting a little muffin action to heal up Stabby. Is that worth it? I guess. I mean, I feel like the Stabbies are just going to trade... Like, one of them's going to trade in the Dimensional Exchange. I don't know. Yeah, like... So now our orange player's down a key and Muffin, whereas our blue player is able to enact the Muffin on a more relevant phobie, namely one that isn't dead. Erratic coming out. So the issue here is, like, it's going to be very difficult to get the Erratic into position, and the Erratic is going to get powered down. So, I don't love it. I don't love it. Ando, what's good? Yep. The aforementioned power down. So now, although there's going to be additional electrical damage, you do get to just kind of dunk on the Erratic right now. Doing laundry? Always fun. Always a blast. The optimal way to spend your weekend, right? Boop. All right, so the interest is no longer in trying to connect with the Oopsie Baby. It's just advancing the position. Wonder what Dama is saving for? I mean, they only have 4 keys. It's not like they're banking a lot. But they were probably waiting for something like this. Setting the trap here, getting the kill on the Repeller. It's not quite all she wrote, but it is a good portion of that particular book. Blue! Gotta love it when blue shows up. Everybody's favorite phobie. Blue is so ridiculous. You know, I want to know why blue is not like a balloon animal. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been a monster balloon, right? Not just a balloon. Oh, I mean, I guess a balloon with eyeballs would be by definition monstrous, but you get what I'm saying. So now here's the thing. Thanks to the... Yeah, it looks like the Honey Bear is winning the math here. We still have 10 turns left. But this is a very patient game, and I mean, our orange player doesn't really have the team to make it happen. You know what I mean? It's just not really going to connect. Now I'm imagining the blue idle animation forming itself into a balloon animal. Imagine if blue was like a poodle or something like that. You know what I mean? Or like it had balloon teeth. Dude, what if blue was a balloon animal? Imagine if Rusty was a balloon animal floating on the map. Dude, I want this phobie now. Somebody go put it in YouTube. Go put that in the suggestion forums in the Phobies Discord. Ping the team. Be like, we want a balloon animal phobie to be friends with Blue. Blue needs a friend. It's important to have friends. Power down. It's important to have friends in your time of need, and believe me, this erratic needs it right now. Our orange player needs it right now. They need some help, because, yeah. This was a very methodical game. Just by definition, obviously, it was 37 turns. I'm curious what people's thoughts are. Is this the sort of Phobies gameplay you want? Or is this kind of game too grindy and slow? I don't know that you can blame this game on Corn. I mean, Corn certainly factored in. But I gotta give the MVP to Honey Bear, right? Is there any dissenting opinion there? I can't imagine that anyone would say anything but Honey Bear is the MVP here. Honey Bear didn't do it alone, of course, but I mean, I think you'd be hard-pressed to claim Honey Bear was not the reason that Dama was able to take this down. The GG, well played. Game goes to Dama. All right, chat. Let's take a look at another game here. Let's see. Take two. Now with the correct game, Kuro versus Mago on Castaway. I saw a very interesting MVP. So we'll see how this plays. What? Kuro. Kuro, my guy. What are you doing? What is Kuro cooking? Kuro needs to check that cookbook, because I don't think you needed to leave it on this high of a temperature. I mean, we've seen Kuro try jammy fish before. What? What? Jammy fish, yo, this is the classic opener. How did we not see this coming, chat? How did we not predict the classic Jammy Fish Slayer Ash opening? Am I taking crazy pills? I feel like Kuro has a dartboard next to their computer or wherever, or if they're playing mobile, like in their room, and they're just like, just throwing stuff at the dartboard and be like, yeah, this is what I'm going to go with today. Beaufort? I guess that's one way to describe it, because it hasn't really made much of it. Well, I guess the fart could make a lot of impact, but you get what I mean. He did round 3 of drafting an hour after Monster League B, and he took Ash forcefully. What do you mean he took Ash? How do you draft forcefully? What does that mean? Can you describe this forceful drafting? I mean, okay, this is a play. Like I don't hate this. I don't hate this. This is adorable. This is adorable. Somebody tell Karst to watch this game afterwards, because I think Karst will get a kick out of this game. That is a play you can make. I mean, let's be real. It's clearly the Daisy. Yeah, the Daisy's going to end up on its own. I don't think I would have put it on the Daisy. Because, I don't know, I guess maybe it's the best option, but like that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I will give Koro credit that the Ashe Boggart play, even if it doesn't work out here, like Ashe and Boggart in particular, this is the sort of play that is kind of interesting. Like, I don't know how viable it is in general, because, like, how many... Oh, no, not like this, Koro. If this isn't bait, this is a feels bad man moment. This is a feels bad man. Do we have cooldowns live? Because if not, this is going to feel bad. We do not. That's very awkward. Ooh, well, this is kind of cute. Okay. Koro with the creativity. Goon. Goon into Daisy. Still 19 keys on our blue player's side. I feel like there's something more unsettling about Ashe as a spider than it is for Moffat. I'm not sure what it is. A little sheep and gas action. So we're going to get... Ooh, the bomb on the Innocuous is... That's... Wait, what? Oh, Koro, not like this. Koro, not like this. What? Koro, this can't be right. Koro, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this. This seems... This is a press X to doubt moment. I'm pretty sure Speedola, or, Boggart's a monster, too. It's not dimensional. So, like... Didn't even decide to move in order to bomb the Daisy as well with the poison. Zamboni coming? No, like... Koro clearly did this with... Under the assumption that the Boggart was going to die. But you just traded Boggart for Innocuous. You have not gotten the value, and this setup from Mago... Okay, here we go. We do get a... That's actually a great Blom setup. Great setup there for Koro. Because I was about to say, like, the Blom... I didn't see the Ashe move, probably because my eyes are suddenly very dry. I didn't see the Ashe move, so I didn't see it get into position to pull the Goon into a better spot. Alright, Koro is... Like, let's be real. I'm willing to be incorrect about Ashe. Kuro's making a strong case for Ashe. Now, I think some of the plays... Like, here's the problem. There are cool plays, like really cool plays being made by Koro right now. But they're all bad. Like... if Koro won this game, or wins this game, like, okay, those plays are cool. But if you lose in a flashier way, it's not significantly better. Ashe is trickier to play than Shove Shark to me. I tried it a few times, still feels weird. It definitely is. Like, Koro's putting a case together for this. So ranged abilities, like Bloms, like... Boggart, those sort of things, make sense. I mean, I guess technically any ability where you have to go in, do something... Ranged is going to be better than melee, obviously, but any abilities where you can go in, do something, and then extricate whatever the phobie is with Ashe great. Or you could do it as a, I would say a poor man's Shove Shark, but the Shove Shark is a lower rarity and less keys. So, like, I've actually started to be interested in Ash. Like, I'm not going to lie, even though it's a losing effort, like, look at this. That might keep the goon alive till it thaws. Probably won't. I mean, the game's over in 2 turns, so I assume not, but lost game for Kuro, but still a good game. Very good game. And, like, you have to give credit where credit is due, because no experiment like Ash, no one's going to go into a game. Ash is just not a phobie where you go into a game and you just dominate someone. Like Akira, especially old Akira, you could just go into a game and it's like, okay, well, you've had practice with Akira because people had at least Miss Moffat. GG, there it is. So, like, with Akira, it was incredibly powerful, and still is. But you also had some level of experience, because prior to that, you would have unlocked Miss Moffat, maybe other yoink abilities, other pulls. Ash is a pull, but it's not the same kind of thing. It's a reverse boop. It's a pull to you, so, but only your guy. So you have to rework your brain on how the strategies work, and it's going to take time to really figure it out. And Kuro was making a case for it. The problem is, the case on one hand, it was really cool. Like I said, on the other hand, it obviously didn't work out. So I don't know if this is a good case, but definitely a cool game. GG. I can see why Magos submitted that. I mean, obviously they won. The notes were actually Ash versus Shove Shark, but I didn't see that. All right, we're going to have back-to-back Potenzia games. This one against A. Markand on Castaway. Let's see if A. Markand drops out their classic Cyclops setup. If I recall correctly, I think Castaway was when A. Markand really started to heavily utilize Cyclops. I could be wrong, but we'll see. 37 turns. Look, I didn't play the games. I didn't play the games, and just to prove it, it is at level 1. We had a 37 turn, like, on the big house, I get it. This map feels more aggressive, but shout out to Potenzia, our blue player, dropping the Benny. Who, look, zombies have so many things about them that make no sense, obviously. How does Benny stand? How strong? Look at that. One, well, he actually looks like he has 3, maybe 4 toes, because, like, his left foot, like, his left, our right, has, like, 1 toe sticking out, and the rest look like they must have been bitten off. His bone state looks like folded clothes. It does. Like, I think he's supposed to be, like, because all the bones sticking out of his body, I think, are supposed to be all the bones, and, like, the rest of him is inflated with gas or something. Okay, so he does have 2 toes. You can see when he picks his foot up. And you can kind of tell on his right foot. But, like, I'm not clear how Benny stands. Like, how does he balance exactly? A tractor very early on from Potenzia. I can see why this game started to drag out. Mirror attractors. And here we are. The classic stare down. With all those cameras for eyes on each of the attractors, of course you want to get all the angles, so we're going to drag it out to 37 turns. Benny's idle animations are so weird. When he slaps the bone through himself, that implies that, like, it's almost like a, you know, when a cartoon, like, if you're watching Looney Tunes and they swallow a bone, you'll see the bone, like, stuck in their neck as they're swallowing. That's what it looks like. Like, somebody jammed the, I mean, obviously somebody jammed the bones in there, but you can see it when he pushes it in. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. Puff coming in. The Glob. Why the, you know, okay, Glob. We were talking about this offline the other day in my Discord, which, by the way, if you want to join Monster of the Week, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord, link in the description. Should have said more of that in the beginning. But anyway. We were talking about this during the week that what are the answers to a tractor? Usually it's something like Glob. It's like Cerberus. It's like Alligator, because you can go in there, soak up a lot of hits, retaliate because your opponent can't kill everything. If this attractor doesn't die... Markin just going for it here. Ooh, I like the Finnegan counterattack on the Glob. Got a little Tooth Fairy. How does this game go on? Do you not just, like... So, obviously, the attractor's cooked. The Glob eats the Puff, and then maybe the Puff dies, and that's how all this goes down? Look at how stupid Puff looks. Tip of his tail and his wings sticking out. Sometimes his nose. Is there enough damage on Markin's side? Doesn't matter. Like I said, Puff goes down. So you traded 7 keys for 6 keys, because Puff is 7, right? I always forget. 6 keys. Okay, 6 keys for 6 keys. I think that's fair. Yeah, I was about to say, you got to body block this. You can't risk that that attractor getting pulled forward. We get the Hevo coming in. There's a fair amount of HP here to chew through for Potenzia, but Potenzia is kind of in a big hole now, because eventually that attractor is going to reset. Panic point advantage is in favor of our orange player, so unless they try and make a hard push, which is not likely to succeed here, see how they manage to claw out of this, if they in fact do. Slapping the old Bachelor into Stabby takedown. Harkening back to 2022. A little snappy action. Potenzia all about the turrets, apparently. These games have been long, chat. I'm almost out of water already. Pop goes the Wiggy. It's not really a pop. I guess it could be a pop, because it's clearly getting crushed. So I guess, like, as it explodes after the Hevo projectile connects with it, there's a pop. I don't know. Kind of stretching it here. All right, we're both banking 10 to 11 keys. Panic points have flipped, but now Tooth Fairy threatening the heart. It's not really threatening the heart here. What I think Markin's doing... Okay, now it's threatening the heart. I was going to say it's positioning in order to threaten taking... Ooh, the counter glob. Taking the stem. The issue here is, like... Well, I doubt that Potenzia can cook the Tooth Fairy entirely with a snowball. Oh, second Daisy. We're in for a treat here. We haven't seen a lot of daisies in... To be honest, I don't remember the last time we saw a daisy before this, so... Shout out to my daisy enjoyers here. Why was that, like, 4th of July fireworks? Potenzia is just daring, or excuse me, Markin is just daring Potenzia to take this stem. Okay, I was gonna say, you're about to get globbed. You got globbed. Moffat. Alright, that's a counter glob. It's both a threat and a counter glob. All in on the defense. Markin doesn't really have a history of hard pushing hard here. I mean, you can threaten it, but I don't remember any games where Markin was just like, oh my god, with the crazy hard push, or like they continually tried hard pushes or something like that. I will mention, as we're watching this game continue to lurch towards its conclusion, we did start A Shriek 2. If there's interest, there will be an A Shriek 3. A Shriek is our offline, I guess it's online still, but no prizes, async tournament. It's a round robin, so you get to play everybody. Takes place over a series of weeks, however long it takes, and get to play some async games. So check out the Discord if you're interested in that. I should add the Discord to the rotating thing over there, but I'm not really sure how to display it. I guess I could just put the Discord symbol, like see where the Twitch thing is? Put the Discord symbol there, maybe? But then people are just going to DM me. I'm like, it's not the point. I guess I just put something that says check video description up there. For a split second, like the tiniest fraction, I thought that A Markin was going to like shove Shark, their own Hevo, into the pit for no reason. I don't know why I thought that. Panic point advantage, orange. I'll be honest, I don't know how Potenzia cracks this unless A Markin makes a fairly significant error in positioning. Like, you kind of need the Moffat to be more aggressively positioned. And this is something that I will say, yes, obviously a tractor is a more egregious example of this, where, okay, we get into the stalemate scenario because the person who goes in loses. I don't know, because this is something that's come up regularly, I don't know that it really makes things worse or induces it all on its own, because we've seen before a tractor was even a thing, we saw these sort of stalemates and following a tractor before, like, it became really omnipresent and ubiquitous, that we saw it with other pole phobies, where it's just like, oh, you have spider, I have spider. You have octonauty, I have whatever. And we just stare at each other. And then there's tons of games where we watch people stare at each other without those things. Displacement effects are too simple, like too obvious of a ability for it to not exist in a game like this. But I do wonder if the game would be better off if they did not exist. And by wonder, I mean they probably would. This has to be a dead Hematic. Otherwise, you end up just losing the glob probably when the Moffat pulls. That's a good pick. That's at least +2 keys, possibly more depending on how Potenzia responds. Going for the bow. So you could have cooked the glob, but it wouldn't have done anything. So I guess this makes the most sense. So Potenzia's entire game plan here is just dive and hope that A Markin puts the damage in the wrong place or globs the incorrect thing. To be honest, I mean, I'm assuming that this will one-shot the Benny, but I wonder if you should have just globbed and then put the damage elsewhere. Like, the extra tractor hit might matter more on a different phobie rather than that one, but, I mean, if that was required to kill the Benny and remove it so that there's no chance that your opponent resurrects it, and, of course, you have the glob available to glob something else next turn, thereby dictating positioning, maybe it's worth it. Globbing the bloat. That sounds weird. That sounds really weird. Bloat seems to be enjoying his time in the glob. I gotta be honest. I'm pretty sure Potenzia has Brony. I mean, chat was pointing out the potential Brony shenanigans earlier. But without Brony, like, what do you do from that position? I guess you could have gone Akira as Potenzia, but we know A Markin also has access to Akira, so then you'd be down you're even on Akira's and they have a track. Like, once you lost your attractor, is what I'm getting at. Once the attractor went down, I feel like this game ended. And it just took almost 30 more turns for the game to officially end. But I just don't see how that game was going to end any other way once that attractor died. Now, obviously, there is the opportunity that A. Markin just makes an egregious error. But, like, the attractor going down was probably the first and simultaneously final nail in the coffin. GG. Feel free to disagree, chat. My humble opinion on the matter. Look, I would say people are trying to get their money's worth by just playing obscenely long games. But there's no entry fee. It's free. You don't have to do this. Why did you do this? Why do people do these things? I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to need a break after this chat because I'm going to need more water. This is ridiculous. We had 30-plus games in our first... 30-plus turn games in our first 4 games. Why? Anyway, we got Sisku and Potenzia here on the Big House. Apparently, we're all sentenced to, you know... We're all serving out a life sentence in the Big House here. This time, I mean, we had corns in the previous one, but this time we're getting a little Gravedigger action. There were no notes with these, with the exception of the one earlier where it was Ash versus Shove Shark, which, I mean, yes, we all noticed the Ash. We all were very, very conscious of the Ash and what was happening there. So we got a little innocuous action. And Repeller. I can see already why this game took so long. Okay, so while we're sitting here for an eternity... Oh god, is this really happening? Is this really happening? It's terrible. While we're sitting here, Carson and I had this discussion about a variety of things related to the Sentinels, but here's the point. The Sentinels feel like they are overstated on a number of fronts, HP, on damage, whatever, that maybe even their cooldowns still, at least in the case of Repeller, Attractor, whatever. Pick a thing, people think it's too much. And I get it. Here's the question. Is it possible to have, just focusing on Innocuous here, is it possible for two Innocuous to even be a glass cannon? Because if you want it to be low enough HP that you can dive it, respectably, does it then become useless because it likely gets like one attack and then croaks? Now, you can make the argument that then it has to become a mobile, like you have to create this death ball group to body block in front of it so it can shoot and have frontliners, which I don't know how much better that is. I'd be curious on people's thoughts, because everybody wants them nerfed, but is it possible, like let's say, because Repeller is paper thin right now. What if you dropped all 3 of them down to like below Repeller health? Would they even get played? I don't think that there's any reasonable electricals. Well, like, let's put it this way. If Innocuous could get one shot by Temptress, would that be an acceptable state for Innocuous? Because then you have a 4-key electrical, which is arguably useless. Like, Temptress is heinously bad. So let's say that that's the case, and you can then now one-shot an Innocuous, an on-key trade. It's a little more mobile, but you're likely to lose the Temptress when you go in, so you end up trading evenly. Then we have like a Jar Murderwing / Cassowary / Snowball relationship. Is that acceptable? I don't know, just thinking out loud here. And that is a book, Atona. We're going to take a look at that after the game, although I managed to stall enough that we only have 11 more turns. As we watch Sisku, like, bleed out here. This is bad. Came into a 33-turn game. You missed the 37 and 35-turn games before this. Why this happens, I don't know. Like, it's weird because we'll have weeks where it's everybody's games end in 10 turns. And then we'll have weeks where everybody's games are, like, 4 decades. And I don't get it. Like, there's rarely a... Well, I guess there's usually a mix. I'm being hyperbolic here, but isn't your whole team about to get booped? We haven't really commented on this game at all. Like, the actual game. Because, like, you can tell the game state based on the quantity of useless trap, like the trap that is where Shove Shark is. That will never get activated. Like, that's just not gonna happen. That's how you know the game, like, nothing happened this game. This is gonna be a boop. Oh, look, everything's out of range because lol Shove Shark and Goon. Oh my god, Potentia still had 9 keys. Wow, I didn't even realize that. I wasn't looking at the keys. Boop. This won't even be enough damage, I don't think. I think this push by Sisku is just like, alright, look, you got me. Please just do something. Anything! I imagine there's a Shove Shark activation in our future. Yeah, or you wouldn't have done that. Wait, what? Maybe not. I guess there was no reasonable blom there. This allows for a safe Klepto attack. But, like... Okay. Can Goon beat a half-health Klepto? Something tells me I think that's going to be the case. Alright, Sisku, really? That had... Oh my god! Yo. What? Okay, we were joking earlier that some of the, like, the previous pushes were like, alright, look, you got me, let's just end the game. That was... Yeah, like, look, the game is over. I'm done. That was savage. GG. Imagine what it costs now with inflation. No, I don't want to. 5 tiers away from a Dreadful? What does that mean? So you use tiers as in tiering system, not tiers as in crying or the in-game currency. But neither of those would get you a Dreadful pack. What are you talking about, PVZ? Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, don't it? Quick pick here on the 1 key up in the north. On the... Oh, on the battle pass. Okay. That makes more sense. I was like, what are you talking about? I, honest to God... We even talked about it earlier, but I, honest to God, forgot about the events. I, honest to God, forgot about the events. I wanted to take a break like 3 games ago, chat, and I forgot. So we are absolutely taking a break after this because I am cooking. Like, I'm literally sweating. So I did buy a pedometer, chat, because I wanted to like start counting steps because I do need to like force myself. And I've found when I need a baseline because like 10,000 steps. Blasto. All right, sure. I don't know why they went Rusty a tractor. Well, they went Rusty Innocuous right now. Rusty's fine now. Like, Rusty is completely reasonable. I don't look at Rusty and go, well, what the hell is going on? Dirty meta spammer? Okay, so... Hold on. We're going to get my story out first, and then we're going to talk about the meta. We might go on a rant tonight about this kind of stuff, chat. Not right this second, but after we finish the Monster of the Week games. So I got a pedometer because I do need to be better about trying to be healthy. And it just gives, like, to me, I can't visualize what 10,000 steps a day is. So, like, now I have a baseline for, oh, I go on this walk, and that yields X number of steps. So now I know I need to do this sort of thing. Like, how to change my lifestyle. It doesn't mean anything. How many replays left? We got one more after this, Onda, and then we can do it. Now, as far as meta stuff goes, and we may go on this rant in more detail later because there were some lunatic discussions going on. You're in a competitive setting. If you don't like it, don't fucking play. Like, it's one thing to vent, right? Like, it's one thing to vent, but this is scrub quotes level drama. Of like, oh, well, you just use the broken stuff. That's the only reason you win. Okay, and you don't, and that's why you lose. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. We may have more to talk about on that later. 10K stops, I'd have to guess based on my daily runs, it's going to be like 4 miles. I think it's like between 4 and 5. I mean, it's obviously basic, because like when you say steps, and it's not like every person has a different step. Men have a different step requirement than women, just like caloric intake and stuff like that. It's all going to be based on the individual, because you might, you know, be a larger person, you might be a smaller person, you might be whatever. So it's all contingent. It's just kind of like a ballpark number. So I'm shooting for that, but I need a baseline. Like, what is my daily activity before I go, you know, I need to know what I'm doing so I have an idea of how much harder I have to push. So we're getting a Phantom off, I guess. Phantom battle. We got a little, Blasto locked down by Rusty, but, like, there's nothing from our orange player here to threat. All right, I don't know about this. So the problem with the Firkin here is that the Firkin's going to take 1,000 years to get into position. So unless you're going to give up an enormous amount of board position, you're not going to be able to... You have two options. You either wait for the Firkin to get into position, or you Phantom the Firkin in, and then it's like you put your own Phantom on cooldown too, so, like, what is the point? Yeah, this is what I thought was going to happen. So... Here's the end result of this play. You are negative 4 keys, minus 4 keys, because of the Firkin. You need to get 4 keys worth of value. You had to use your own Phantom, so you effectively gave your opponent 4 free keys, and this is a heads-up play by PVZ. You get the challenge play to get the Blasto into position anyway, despite being hit with the Rusty. Yikes. Yikes. I don't love the paddles, though. I don't love the paddles. Paddles is worth trust. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Great Blom there. You're obviously going to get the pick. Only a question of how you're going to get the pick. I almost would have liked to have seen the, could you not have paddled this in so that you could then shriek? But I was going to say I almost would have liked to have seen the cassowary hang back so that way if the Sparky wants to try and advance. But the reason that you don't want to do that is this forces our orange player to interact with the cassowary before the Sparky is opened up to hit the Blasto. I mean, given the Firkins right there, it's not a big deal, but... Got a little stimmed bees action. Those bees are juiced up. Flying high on insert stimulant of choice, I guess. This doesn't look spectacular for our blue player unless they're like, can you take down? Okay, yeah, here we go. Little repositioning help from the Rambo, taking down Sparky. That's the big thing you needed to have happen. And now we're gonna get a incredible Blondie hit. That's a 5-point Blondie. I was gonna say Phobie, but that's not it. 5-point Blondie. Paddles was worth it. Could you not have done... I feel like you could have set up the same thing with Shove Shark for 1 key less. Like, you move the Phantom afterwards. Oh no, you couldn't move the Phantom afterwards because Sparky was in that spot. See, the thing is that judging these plays, so, okay. Was Paddles the Phobie that worked in that particular scenario? Yes. Could Shove Shark have done it? We'd have to go back and look. I don't think so based on what I'm remembering, but I don't care. The thing is would you have even been in that scenario if you had Shove Shark instead? Because it's not just a matter of, oh, I got into this edge case, so I had the perfect Phobie. It's, should you have even been in that case in the first place? But at this point, I mean, we know there's not a lot left to the game, but, like, those are some very powerful and high HP Phobies that do a lot of damage, and there's not a lot body blocking. That's a Paddles kill. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. I guess our orange player's trying to race here, but, I mean... Fetch does a lot of damage. And you can just backcap these panic points. Like, Shove Shark is not racing Phantom, Fetch, and Blondie. You could have ended the game. Like, this is a mistake. I don't think there's any world in which you would lose this because they can't cap another panic point or anything. But there's no reason to give them another turn. This is why everybody would scream in chat on Hearthstone streams. Miss Lethal. But GG. Got him. GG. Alright, chat. We'll look at the last Monster of the Week game. Alright, chat. Our final game for this particular Monster of the Week. We got PVZ coming back at you once again on Castaway against Dama. Let's see how this one plays out. And then a pack opening? Well, maybe. Honda had indicated that they had a game they wanted to have us look at. I also wanted to take a break after the last game, and I just immediately went into the next game. What are you gonna do? This one's only a 13-turn game, so at least we don't have to be here for 3 hours with those 37-turn. Like, how did we get multiple 30-plus turn games? All right. Fairly standard, although once again, I hate Boom early in the game to capture panic points. I don't know why people do this. Speedola! Well, I can imagine what the next turn is going to look like. This is a bold move by our orange player, aggressively pushing towards the heart, dropping out a Gesundheit. If that Gesundheit's going to make the slow trek across the top, I would have liked to have seen it sooner. Like, you could have had the Gesundheit last turn instead of the Hevo if you went Gesundheit Stabby. If this was going to be the plan. Speaking of heart pushes... Speaking of heart pushes, I don't think that Gesundheit's getting there in time. This is a game where the players just completely ignored each other. They just didn't even care. I don't know about this one. This feels like our orange player decided to hard push, but almost pre-game, but didn't really plan out how they're going to do it. Okay, why did PVZ reposition the red Speedola there? You could have got 2 hits with the red Speedola. Why move it? I'm really confused. I don't even understand why you would do that. In case they tried to go in for defense. I mean, it's pretty odd. They couldn't defend. Like, what they have in position, it's literally impossible to defend. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 7 Phobies. The only things that could have come down there are Tickles and Hevo. Like, if they tried, they've already lost. So here's the thing. They lost this game 2 turns ago, maybe 3 turns ago. Because just mathematically, like, as soon as the red Speedola hit the heart, not like attacked, but as soon as the red Speedola got into this bottom position and they didn't immediately respond, the game was over. Like, mathematically, I don't think it would be possible for them to do anything at that point. Maybe if they capture, like, literally every single panic point or something. But because they chose to go with Gesundheit, which, even more annoyingly for them, stunted their ability to get the Blinky into position, because the Blinky had to take a detour and then get in. Although I guess it didn't matter, so I take that back. But either way, the Gesundheit taking 1,000 years to get across the map means that there just wasn't time. I can appreciate committing to, like, look, you're going hard, I'm going hard, and then we're going to see who can do it better. But if you're going to do that and your opponent's already in position and is representing more damage, not going to work out. It's not going to work out. I'm trying to click on the heart, it won't let me, but I wanted to compare. So we have 1260, which means that it's, like, not close to 3K, but yeah, it's just not close. There was way more damage being represented by our blue player here. This is, like I said, you needed to defend either immediately Or I guess you do this, but you got to go with different options. GG. Taking him down. Got him. What a fitting way to close out a series of games that all the other ones took 1,000 years. GG. All right, chat. That's going to do it for this week's Monster of the Week. If you're interested in playing in Phobies tournaments where everything's set to level 1 and you can get coffee just for participating, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord. Link for that, of course, will be in the description of this video. Just read the rules. I promise all the scenarios and questions are contained in the rules. And they're even in other places, too, because people don't read the rules, so I put them everywhere. Just saying. That's going to do it for now. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.